Okay. So hello everyone. Good evening, good morning, depending on the location you are in. Welcome to College Counseling Coach. I'll start off with a quick introduction and then I'll hand it over to Prachi. And yeah, so a little bit of a context about why are we organizing this and why this is important, essay writing. I think first and foremost, there are four pillars of college admission. So which college you'll end up going to, and what stream, what major you'll end up with depends on how well you do across these four dimensions, which is how will you do in your academics, how will you do in your test prep results, which means SAT, APs, and so on, what kind of a profile you have, and how well it is aligned to the major that you like to pursue, and then the entire college application. Now, college application, if you look at it, one of the biggest pieces of college application is essays. So for folks who are going to be applying to all these countries, US, Canada, UK particularly, you're looking at nothing less than 30 to 45 essays. So there's a good amount of effort that you're going to be putting in terms of writing essays. And that's why we keep talking to you about essays. Now, one myth which I see from a lot of students is, a lot of students think that writing an essay is about English literature, it's how well you can write. And to me, I think that's the last piece in the puzzle. Essays are about your story. It's about your past, future, your intent, and so on. It's about how well you can triangulate your past, present, and future. And it's about creating your story and then articulating it well. Why is the essay a critical make or break factor in your acceptance by college? And simple. People want to see, your academic achievement. They want to see a test score, and they want to see everything, all put together. And that's what comes in your essay. And remember, when college admission officers look at your application, they're always trying to figure out, how do you, how well you're able to differentiate compared to other students. So from that perspective, your college essay has become a make or break, and that decides your acceptance. So please understand, this is a very, very serious stuff, and that's why you need to pay as much attention to essays that you can and keep getting better and better at it. And how do you make your essay a convincing, logical appeal on your behalf? I think tell your story, let it come out from your heart, show how you can be a good match to the ethos and spirit of the college, and make sure that you read up a little bit about the college, you're able to talk about it, and show commitment to learning and keenness to contribute to the college community. So net, if you really look at it, it's a very important part of the entire application process. For students who are in grade 11, remember, from August onwards, this entire process is going to start actively, which means we are going to kick off the process in March or April. Prachi is going to mentor you guys. She's going to guide you through the entire process. For students in grade 9 and 10th, I think this is just good if you can have an early start, if you understand and maybe start practicing and so on. I think with that, I will hand it over to Prachi, and over to you, Prachi.
Thank you so much, Prabhat. And I'm very happy that we have a whole lot of our students attending. And Prabhat has, summarized it very well for all of us, that an essay is really not about English literature, but it's about presenting your unique story. When we say a unique story, we all know that for our essay, we're supposed to be talking about ourselves. Okay, so everybody has some talent, everybody has some major to pursue, and everybody is good at something. All right. However, how you present that in an authentic and convincing format is what is going to distinguish. I'm not saying it's going to distinguish your essay from another. It is what is going to make you come across as someone who has serious intent and someone who has done enough in the past to demonstrate that intent. Okay, Soham and I think Anay and Sai Vidyut, if I remember correctly, all three of you have attended one essay workshop earlier. Most of the content is going to remain the same, but considering, like they say, it's something that is human delivered and not machine delivered, there are going to be a few differences in the way that I've conducted the previous ones, and the points that are going to come across. Any one thing, Soham, that you remember from the last workshop that we've conducted that has stayed with you?
Oh, like I remember, like when you say in your essay, you're supposed to like show, not tell. So whenever you talk about some
Excellent.
kind of experience, yeah, you just describe it, but you don't exactly say what
Absolutely.
it is.
Absolutely. Anay, anything that comes to your mind from the previous workshop?
Uh, I think that's one of the reasons I'm joining this workshop. I'm not really sure, but yeah, you know.
No, but have you attended a workshop earlier from what I remember? No? Okay, then I'm mistaken. I'm sorry. I thought. And how about you, Saidyut? What was your takeaway from your last essay
Yes, ma'am. I think
workshop?
it's mainly about anecdotal ways of explaining your traits.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, for the benefit of everybody else, Arjun, Sanvi, Rana, Nikki, Ankita, Arushi, Rohit, Riya, Anay, Sakshi, Kashyap, and Arohi, this workshop is essentially going to tell you not how to organize your essay. We've all been doing this from our maybe probably grade 4 or 5 onwards. Have an introduction, have a body paragraph, have a conclusion, don't make grammatical errors, mind your punctuation. All that is a given. Okay, here we are going to ask you to understand yourselves a little better in terms of what you are offering to the college. Okay, it is not just what the college offers to you, but how your abilities, how your talent resonates with what the college's values, ethos, and academics are in line with. And therefore, you say that I am making a strong case on behalf of how I've done everything that this college is about. And therefore, I warrant a place in this institute. All right. That is the long and short of this workshop. The rest of it is how, the micro part of it is going to be how we break it down into different steps to write a good essay. When I say a good essay, it has to leave an impact in terms of, again, that this child, of course, your grades and everything are going to speak about itself, but how serious you are about joining this institution, how you are a community driven person, how you have certain ethos, certain values, which are totally aligned to what your university believes in. And that is how you say that, yes, I would be a right fit and please accept me. Okay, is that good? Kashyap, Riya, and Ankita? Yeah, you can just give me. I'll keep saying names one, randomly, so that that everybody is with me. I'm going to start sharing my screen, and just give me a moment, please. You can all give me a thumbs up once you all can see my screen. I'm sorry, I'm not being. Prabhat, can you help me how to get it into a slides show mode? Anybody who can help me get this into a slideshow mode?
Click on present on the side.
Yeah, come down, bottom right.
Okay.
There, yeah, click on that. No, come down, left.
This one?
No, left, keep going left.
Yes, F11.
This
It's
one?
on
Yeah.
top present. Top right.
Top
There's,
right?
yeah, present next to editing present.
Next editing.
Yeah.
It's not moving.
Press F11. Either F11 or function F11.
Okay. Function F11. Okay. It's not happening. But can you see my
No. So if you look at just 1 minute, I'll just help you with that quickly. If you look at this, you want It is this button.
Ah, okay.
See.
Okay.
Okay.
1 second. I tried that. It's not happening.
Okay, don't worry then. Just continue with it. No issues.
Okay. Okay.
Hi, Saurabh. Welcome.
Hi.
All right. Nikki, Soham, and Arushi, and Rohit, and Ria, you are the ones I can see on my screen. Is the slide visible to you?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So how important is the essay component in the application? Everybody knows that your grades, your profile, and the things that you have done to build your profile to make an effective case on your behalf about being particularly interested in your subject, having done things which makes your profile very strong, and also pursued extracurricular interests is of great importance when you're applying to colleges in the US. But if I have to say, is my essay going to be a major determinant in my getting accepted at a certain college or not? Well, let me tell you that while GPA, your recommendation letters, all of these are extremely crucial, an outstanding personal essay for a college can help you stand out among other applicants. Okay. Now think if Rohit, Riya, Anay, Sakshi, Chinmay, and Vidyut, and Nikki, and Ranan, all of you are there with the similar stories, if not same. Somebody's got it for economics and badminton and maybe a national championship. Another one has got it for a hacking competition and maybe swimming and football and computer science. And the other one has got it for political science. And everyone is just as good as the other as far as your GPA is concerned. Then what is it that I'm going to use to distinguish one from the other as far as my selection of a particular person is concerned? So this is where an outstanding personal essay for college can help you stand out from other applicants. This comes with a rider though, while we are not saying in any way that it's an outstanding essay which is going to get you in, and a lackluster essay, there's a very big chance that it can keep you out. Okay, so when you say essay is just about English, like Prabhat said, about literature, about just putting words together and making it seem pretty and interesting, it's not about that. You cannot just have fluff out there. You cannot have anecdotes. You cannot have a flowery ornamental style of writing unless you've got real meat there. And Sai Vidyut, when I say real meat, what would that imply? Sai Vidyut?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the real meat there? It's things you've done. It's the real things that you've done, around which you're going to be telling your story. Okay. Now there's a 2018-19 study by National Association for College Admission Counseling, which says that 56.4% of admission counselors reported that they pay a huge emphasis on the essay as far as giving admissions is concerned, how you're considered. Okay. How important is it? Now, this is all that goes into your essays. You all know. Chinmay, if you can look at the screen and read out what are the things that have been written there. Chinmay, am I audible to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
GPA, white papers, research, internship, recommendation letters, and voluntary work and achievements.
All right. By now, having had enough sittings with your counselors, with Rajdeep and Prabhat, you already know that the GPA is going to be the hero of your application. Okay. And apart from the hero of your application, you're going to have a supporting cast of white papers, research, internship, recommendation letter, voluntary work, and achievements. Okay. Now, this is your entire story. Where does the essay fit in? The essay presents all of this in a logical format, right from the start to the finish, where you may not have expressed personality attributes, where you say, yes, I'm empathetic. Yes, I'm consistent. Yes, I'm diligent. Yes, I have courage under fire. Yes, I have displayed, my compassion. And while these are things which you may think are just peripherals, but these peripherals are the little cements. If you think of these as bricks, these are the cements that are going to make it into a very, very strong structure, which says that, yes, this person is human enough in all ways. When I say he is human, to have compassion, he is human to have failed, and he's human to have had strength to overcome the odds and come up despite the odds stacked against him. It might not always be the case. And therefore, I tell the students, whoever I mentor, that an essay is not about just flexing intellectual muscle all the time. It is also exposing your vulnerabilities, but in a manner which makes you come across as someone who's able to overcome them. Now, why do I have to write an essay? If I can ask you, Ranan, I mean, I've shown you 2 slides, I've spoken a bit. Why do you think you have to write an essay, Ranan?
Ma'am, in order to convey to the college, show them why you are the best fit for them to accept, how you can contribute to their college.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How you can contribute to that college, how you can use the facilities and the environment and the entire ethos of that particular environment, be it in terms of the academic wherewithal that they have, or the kind of culture they cultivate. Okay, it is not about being better than the other person who's giving the application, but about being the right fit. So why do I have to write an essay is, I'm sorry, here it goes. This is not coming out right. Not being able to move it. Can I just stop sharing for a little while and check this?
You could try clicking the animations tab and removing the animations.
No, it has nothing to do with the animation. I'm sorry this is happening to me, and it is the first time that it's happening to me. Okay, just
open Word document, write in a Word document, that's also okay. Or notes or anything.
I think this animation is not working. So just a moment, please. I think I'm going to open another one. Just give me a moment, please.
Do you want me to share the screen from my laptop, Prachi?
Prabhat, I'm just trying to open it on another. Yeah, it's working now.
Okay.
It's working now. I don't know why that happened, but can you see this now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Arushi, I'd like you to read out the first point, which says that why do we need to write an essay?
Different perspectives beyond academic achievements, test scores, and extracurriculars.
Okay, Sakshi.
Chance to stand out from other applicants with similar academic profiles.
Sanvi.
Yeah, sorry. Your advantage telling a unique personal and specific story.
All right. So there will be a whole lot of blogs that you're going to be reading on how to write your essay. Okay, they're going to be telling you the same things over and over again. One is what Soham and Sai Vidyut have already told you. Please show, don't tell. Make an anecdotal reference to your achievements and to all the things that you have pursued and what mattered to you academically and non-academically in a context that has made your character come up in terms of who you are. Okay, then they're going to be telling you that please make a very strong case in terms of giving real references. Okay, but how do you, and do not talk about it, they won't say do not talk about, but they will say talk about more than what you have already projected in what I said were those bricks. your GPA, your research paper, your internship, your white papers. Try and say something more that they do not know about you already. Okay, and that is why your advantage is telling a unique, personal, and a specific story. Okay, how it'll make you stand out from other participants, from other applicants. We've already done that. How can a good essay make a difference? A good essay, like I said, might not essentially get you in, but a bad essay can keep you out. Okay, now we have Prabhat, if you remember, we have a few deferrals. We have students who have been told that, okay, we will reconsider. That's what a deferral is. And that is when the essay becomes even more important, because it's in their essay that they start, rebuilding their case on how they are a good fit for the college that they're applying for. So you elevate an applicant in the admission committee's sight. And it's a chance to show that you've carefully thought about the college and the subject. A whole lot of colleges, Arjun, Sanvi, Ankita, and Nikki, Anay, Rohit, Arohi, Soham, Saivadyut, a whole lot of colleges are going to ask you questions like, the ethos of this particular college is to go and give back to the community after all that you have learned. How are you going to carry the ethos of the subject and the learnings once you have finished whatever you have been doing? Okay, so these are so the essay is not just I, me, myself, I've done this, I am great, I'm very smart academically, I'm very smart in terms of my overall personality, and that is why I'm good. Okay, it needs some real deep thought, it needs some real introspection on how can I project myself as the person who's got what the university is looking for. And again, let me tell you, it is not about saying, I have to say the right things to them. Like they say in an interview, you should know what they're expecting of you, and that is what you have to, start spouting. But no, this is being very authentic, because at some level, all of us have attributes and qualities which we have not really, thought about. We have not introspected. So an essay, before putting your pen to paper, is a whole lot about gathering your thoughts, researching the college, and finding out who are the people who have made this institution great. So when we say, why would you like to? So one question I've already told you, that the ethos is that of giving back to the community. And how do you think that this is the culture and the spirit that you're going to imbibe? And what is it that you're going to do once you finish? This is a particularly difficult question that students writing. The other simpler question is, why this particular college? Okay, and then we have all the generic stuff that, the kind of cutting edge technology, the world class facilities, the state of the art laboratories, and the culture of bonhomie, and a diverse international setup. Then you will talk about equity, you'll talk about parity, but you have to take certain very key things from these colleges. Like I remember there are students who've talked about a particular professor and say that he has done this thing in biogenetics, and I'm very, very kicked about joining this college because I want to work with this professor. So from generic to specific, while your Common App essay is going to be about you, what are you going to do, how you've organized yourself in the past 2 to 3 years to build a certain profile, how you believe in the human qualities, in the qualities of compassion, empathy, and being internationally accepting, the D&I, the diversity and inclusion factor. You have to get as specific as researching that this is what a Brown does, this is what a Purdue does, this is what an Oxford does, this is what a Cornell does, this is what a UT Austin. I mean, there are so many people who've written about the culture of soccer in a particular college and said, this is the real thing that I'm looking at. I mean, this is one of the biggest attractions I have. I'm going to get educated, of course, but my draw is soccer. So why are we, in your opinion, if I have to ask you, Ankita, why in your opinion are we sort of getting into such molecular facts about the college and saying that we're interested? Why do you think that we'd like to put that there?
I think it makes our case more appealing to the college. It shows them that we really, not just for the education, we have other interests in the college.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody knows that we will be applying to different colleges. We will be keeping all our eggs in different baskets. At the same time, I mean, does this student have a real zeal to join this college for what it is? We all feel proud of the school that we come from. Yeah, right? This is my school, and I'm very proud of it. And these are the kind of things it cultivates and promotes. And therefore, they see that this person has done his homework well. Okay. Let's go to our next one. Why do I need to learn how to write an essay? I've been writing essays ever since the time I have been in grade 4, grade 5, grade 6. I'd like to know from each one of you, and I'd like to start with Arjun. Arjun, now that I've told you so much about it, why do I need to write an essay?
Well, it is essential to write an essay because we need to tell them how we fit in the college.
Okay, how we fit in. Nikki, why do we need to learn how? I mean, the whole reason why this workshop is happening, why do we need to learn this? Nikki, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts? And if you don't have any thoughts, please don't hesitate to say, ma'am, I don't have any thoughts. You may please ask someone else. There's no pressure on anyone.
I have no thoughts.
Okay. Okay. Ria?
So I think that the reason why we need to write essays for college is because we're each our own person, and our GPA.
Question,
and
Ria. Why do we need to learn to write an essay?
Oh, learn, sorry.
Yeah.
It's to be able to show, it's to be able to put across our, person, rather than, so that it comes across best.
Okay. Okay. Arohi.
I think in my opinion, we need to learn. Why do we need to learn how to write? Again, to improve our improve our image to the college, and to create a unique story to differentiate us from other applicants.
Okay.
And to prove our point about who we are in a more appealing way.
Okay. Why you need to learn how to write an essay? Because these are the prompts. Prompts are the topics, okay? These are the prompts that you've never thought of. Okay? You need to learn how to write an essay because you need to look inwards and figure out what are my stellar traits and how can I project them without coming across as a braggart. All right? I need to know how to weave the aspects of my achievements, experiences, and natural traits into making an image of myself. I won't say into making an image, into conveying an authentic image of me as an achiever, as an empath, as a diligent worker. Someone who can bring value to the college that I am applying to. This is the reason why you need to write an essay. And as we go further, I'm also going to mentor all of you by making a template, by asking you specific questions. What have you done? Okay. What have you learned on account of this? These are the most basic things. Somebody, I remember last year there was a boy who's written about tying up his kairis every morning. He started his Common App essay by saying that my day began with tying up my kairis early in the morning, and I have been at the field the whole day, and this is my passion, and I have loved it. And it's all right to say that, yes, I'm interested in it. And a lot of times we tell a whole lot of people that you would be interested in, in hacking marathons. You would be interested in playing football. You could probably be playing the guitar. You could be playing the piano. And this year, there's a boy who's written about a topic where he says that you're supposed to talk about your background and you're supposed to talk about your talent, which makes your story come out. And there he is. And there he has said that for me, there was this crucial match, inter-school match that we were playing, and we were losing, and we had to re-strategize. Shreya, are you there? Are you listening to what I'm saying? Shreya? Yeah. So I just want to bring out these two stories in the approach that they take. So while one has written that I'm passionate about football and I can spend the whole day there, there's another boy who's written that when I play football, all those years that I've spent in the summer months in India, from morning to evening, playing more football than actually spending it on my books, that is what has given me an insight into how to re-strategize and make a dent into their defenses. And then he conveys his whole story that I got the whole team together, I devised a plan, and everybody agreed with me, and we just, we left the team beleaguered. So between the two, Shreya, I'd like to know how do you think one essay is, different from the other?
Ma'am, I think both of them are kind of on similar lines, but I think the second one was a bit more specific.
Okay. And Ria, how about you? What do you think?
I think that the second one, like how Shreya said, was more specific, and it showed more so his applying skill.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sanvi.
What I felt like the first one was more inclined to who the person really was and what his personal interests were beyond academics in a way and beyond extracurriculars. So it kind of showed who that person is outside of school and the stuff he does. And the second was more applying his skills in the school community in a way.
Excellent. All three of you, in your heads, you're absolutely spot on. I'll tell you the differences. One thing is I love to write. Okay, I'm a writer. I love to write. I've written in so many genres. I've done copywriting. I've done corporate communication. I have done technical writing. I write poetry, and it gives me immense joy. All right, it consumes me to a point where I can write it day and night. Okay, and come up with stellar pieces of work. This is the first boy. The second example is I'm great at writing. I have done so much of it that at any point of time you tell me to write on any topic which is not very tech heavy, I will be able to give you exactly what you want. And on one particular occasion, when nobody was being able to write and we needed to convey a very, very important point about ourselves, I was the one who came up and wrote something which had phenomenal results. So there are three things this boy has captured. One is his intense love for what he's got, which the other boy has also got. But he has used an example where he has been able to build up skills to a level where he is an authority on the subject. He has brought about the fact that he can be a leader. He can get all his team members to work with him, listen to him, not just because he is someone who's very friendly and amiable, but he is someone who is giving them solutions to go hit out at the other team and come on top of the situation. And last but not the least, on account of the skills he's built, because of the passion that he's had, and the diligence that he has applied to the field day in and day out, he has had the confidence to become a leader in the game, and also demonstrated soft skills in getting everyone together to listen to him. And he has written about his victory in a very, very unassuming fashion. Okay, so this is the reason why you need to learn how to write an essay. We all know our achievements, we all know our qualities, but how do we bring them out? How do we weave them into something which is unassuming, which is real, and shows us that yes, because of that particular passion of ours, we have developed certain skills which has helped us chart victories at certain points of time in life. All right, are you with me, Sanvi, Nikki, Rohit, Anay, Sakshi, Sai Vidyut, Shreya? Yeah? All right, we go back to the... So this is the reason why we need to write an essay. Okay, these are the things that we will be covering in our essay. And a lot of times there are a lot of things that come to my mind on the spot, which I have not planned, just like this, for example. And therefore, we are going to veer away from the PowerPoint as well, but still stay very much within the ambit of why that particular aspect is important. So I'd like Chinmay to please read out FAQs about essay, please. Chinmay, if you can please read that aloud, if you can hear me. I don't think Chinmay can hear me. Prabhat, can I request you to ask one of the students, since you know all of them very well, to one of them to read this out, please?
Wait, I was talking on mute. Yeah, Chinmay, are you there? 1 minute, Chinmay.
No,
Chinmay,
yeah, I think he left. He left the meeting, I think.
Okay. Chinmay, are you back?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Chinmay, we'd just like you to read this out very quickly.
Yeah.
What's the common app essay? What is writers looking for in an essay? When should I work on the essay? What prompt should I use? What is the length or word count? What is the structure or format? Should I format my awards? Should I write my awards and accomplishments? What are the key ingredients for a standout essay, and how many iterations will I need to get a final proof?
All right, so these are the things that we will be considering. Everybody knows what a Common App essay is? Shreya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so can you just tell us very quickly what is the Common App essay?
So the Common App is like the standardized application platform that most colleges use, and the Common App essay is like the personal statement for that.
All right, your Common App essay is a personal statement. It is something which is accepted by a whole lot of colleges, more than 900 schools, in fact. And all your prospective schools that accept the Common App will read this essay to understand your character, background, and value as a potential student.
Yeah.
We come to the next one. What are the selectors looking?
Prachi, I'd just like to make one comment. So if you look at it, I mean, we have kids who are interested in applying to colleges in the US, kids who are interested in applying to colleges in UK, Canada, Australia. There's a lot of diversity here. Now, just keep in mind, Common App is mainly for the US.
Mainly for the US.
Mainly
Yes,
for the
I
US.
understand that. But then whatever you're writing in terms of a statement of purpose, and the 5 questions or the 8 questions that they ask you for universities in Canada are mostly, they're asking the same things to you. So when I say a Common App essay, and if you're applying to Canada and UK as well, a whole lot of this is going to fit into your what the questions or the SOP demands of you. So what are the selectors looking for in an essay? Ranan, now I've spoken a lot about it. You can tell me what are the selectors looking for in an essay?
The selectors are looking for obviously like your GPAs or like the research work, volunteers, your volunteer work you've done, but they're also looking for something about yourself, like how you can tell your own story, how they can get to know you better, and why they think you'd fit.
Excellent, excellent. Arushi, what do you think? When should you really start working on your essay? We are in January now. You'll have to start submitting your, I think it's in the first week of August that the prompts come out. When should I start work on the essay?
I mean, I guess immediately.
All right. Kashyap, What is the length or the word count? This depends on various essays. The Common App essay asks for 650. The UCAS essay doesn't really have a word count, but we like to keep it within a 1,000 to 1,200 range. What is the structure or the format, Sanvi? What do you think should be the structure or the format of your essay?
I don't think there is a standardized structure or format. I think in any way that you can best represent who you are, that really works. I'm not sure.
All right. Yes. Yes, Sanvi. Yes and no. Okay. There are students who are such brilliant writers that, they may start from the end. They may just say, I fainted. Okay. And then they say, when I came to, there were these people around me and I couldn't move a limb. Okay, somebody's telling his or her story like that. The other person is talking about the first thing. When you say this is something outstanding about you, he says, there's this boy again, the one who's talking about his football experience. He says, the outstanding skill that I have is the skill of synthesis. Okay, because I've asked you, what is this trait that you possess? So he states it very simply. This is my skill, and now I'm going to prove to you what my skill is about. Okay, so there is really no one way to write it, but considering that not all of us are great writers, we recommend that start with an introduction, have a few body paragraphs, and then come to the conclusion. Okay, should I write about my awards and accomplishments? Very much yes, of course. That is why you are there presenting your essay. What are the key ingredients of a standout essay? Arjun, any idea? Now that we've talked a little.
Key ingredients of a standout essay, unique experiences, I guess.
Okay, unique experiences. Arushi?
Sorry?
What are the key ingredients of a standout essay in your understanding?
I guess how you can show your soft skills.
Okay, how you can show your soft skills. Shreya?
Being able to talk about your maybe stellar attributes without coming across as bragging or
Excellent. Talking about your stellar attributes without coming across as bragging. Arohi?
Achievements that put you over the top.
Okay. Achievements that put you over the top. Ria, how many iterations will I need to get a final proof? That is, after you've given me the first draft of your essay, how many times do you think we would need to work on it to get that essay, which we can say, okay, this is the one which we can send?
I think that it depends on each person, but I think that the general median would probably be around 3 drafts.
All right, that's being ambitious. We say at least 5 drafts. Anywhere between 5 and 8 is what it takes. All right, for that particular statement of purpose, or for that particular Common App essay. The little ones, of course, where they ask you little questions, those get done sooner. Okay, what is a Common App essay? We know we do it for the USA. It's a primary writing sample within the Common Application accepted by more than 900 schools. Which prompt should I choose? Okay, now there are a whole lot of prompts. There'll be 7 prompts that are given to you. And of those, and of those, one is such where you say you write on a topic of your interest, anything which is your story. And this year we had a girl who wrote on such an unusual, on such a it was I think it was a maverick of an attempt, but she did write it. And she says she wants to write about love. And she made a very, very pretty piece, though ideally I would have recommended her to write about achievements, how she presents herself. But no, she wrote about love. She wrote about the books she had read. She wrote about the fairy tale stories. She wrote about how technology and how the finer aspects of life have to come together finally for this overarching phenomenon of what love is all about. I do not endorse her choice of that topic, but then it is a decision which she took, and her counselor was absolutely okay with it. And so she submitted that, and she has gotten acceptance from at least 3 colleges so far. All right. But she was an extraordinary writer and a thinker. She is actually, and she presented her case very well. Ordinarily, even if you write about a topic of your choice, we would not like it to be very ambiguous. Okay. So choose a prompt that sparks your interest and that you can connect to a unique personal story. If there's this girl who wrote about her experience. In fact, she kept hitting a roadblock every time she had to write about herself. And finally we went back to her MDP essays, your master development plan, where she'd written about herself, and I helped her extract information from there. All right. She's had a life altering experience, or in fact, she's got a second chance at life because she was absolutely immobilized. Okay. She couldn't move. She, like you see in the movie, she would bat her eyes once. So I told her, why don't you talk about this experience as to how you've got a second chance at life and how it has changed your perspective on so many things. All right. There was another boy who he wanted to write about bodybuilding. Okay. And Prabhat was his mentor, Prabhat was his counselor. And we told him that somebody or the other is going to be very good at a particular thing. You do it as an interest, you do it as a hobby, but have you reached a milestone with respect to that hobby? Okay. So we advised him not to use that. And in fact, in order to project his story, we told him to talk about his background as someone who comes from the construction industry. So, and weave it together with how he saw that people who were helping build these houses had to live in these shanties, they're just made of a plastic structure. And then he talks about his goal of making housing affordable in a developing economy like ours. All right. So this is a unique personal story. However, while we advised one child not to take up the story of his bodybuilding, how it gave him discipline and how it gave him rigor and how it made him come into his own as a person, as someone who had more confidence and reach out to others on a different level altogether. There's another story, and we have his podcast coming out in the next 2 weeks. Okay. His entire Common App essay was about the piano. Okay, his whole essay was how piano, there is this one particular thing without which his story is incomplete. He talks about how he started learning from his grandfather. He talks about how he comes back to India and, he gets enrolled into this Trinity music program. And there are such difficult pieces which he just can't, wrap his head around. But then he talks about his steadfastness, he talks about his tenacity, and he talks about his passion, where so please remember, it is not about the piano. It's about how difficult it has been for him to learn certain pieces. He's not a dilettante. He's not somebody who's indulging in it for the sake of just minor pleasure. All right. He's made it his objective in life. And then he goes on to tell his story about how it has helped him. He says, I used to be someone who was not very confident about talking to people. I had a fear of stage performance. I was scared of asking people for help. And all of these have come down. They have been mitigated by the fact that piano has been in my life. So are you understanding that we have to use our stories and experiences as an instrument of how they have made us evolve, okay, in terms of how much we love it, what is the extra mile we are willing to go to achieve that particular thing, and then how we have charted certain big milestones on account of that. So this becomes a very good essay versus what the other one was going to say, that I started out on bodybuilding and today I'm so and so. All right, Soham, Nikki, Ranan, Sanvi, and Arjun, you're the ones I can see on the screen. If you can give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Okay, These were the common essay prompts. Sai, Vidyut, and Soham, you're already familiar with this. Nikki, can you please read out the first one for me?
Some
Yes.
students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is so meaningful they believe their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, then please share your story.
All right. So this year, particularly, a whole lot of students have gone in for this prompt. Like I told you about the boy who's written about football, and you know how and he starts with the fact that if you have to talk about one single talent, my talent is the art of synthesis. And I'm going to demonstrate this to you at the intersection of football and computer science. Okay, there's another girl who's in Israel right now. She has also used this. She's talked about her background. She says that my father has been in the foreign services. We've moved every now and then. And she's projected a very, very interesting tale of how she has had to overcome certain odds. She's talked about it in the light of the war that's going on right now in Gaza. And so this is what she's written. So you could talk. There's another person who's written about his identity, who says that I'm in fact, that child is with us in this particular year. He's not applied yet. He's in grade 11. And he talks about his identity. He's born to an Indian father and a Mexican mother in the USA. And therefore, he's talked about the conflict of identities that he's had and how truly he's a world citizen. All right. So this is just to give you an idea. Rohit, can you read the next one, please?
Yes, ma'am. The lessons we take from obstacles we encounter can be fundamental to later success. Recount a time when you faced a challenge, setback, or failure. How did it affect you? And what did you learn from the experience?
All right. So then there's another girl who wants to, who's done some great research on, how cancer can be treated and how certain research is going on in order to treat people who have different kind of debilitating disorders. She has talked about how the death of her grandmother, made her go into depression. And her father was, absolutely incapacitated in terms of functioning on an emotional level, while outwardly he carried on doing whatever he was doing. So this is what she talks about her obstacle. But she says that how this particular experience has made her more sensitive, more alive to what the others are experiencing. And then she says that I would like to do things, which help people deal with their problems, both in the medical context and in the psychological context. Okay, reflect on a time. I'd like someone to read that, please, because it gives my voice a rest as well. I'd like Ria to read it, please.
Reflect on a time when you questioned or challenged a belief or idea. What prompted your thinking? What was the outcome?
Okay, again, we've had someone who's written on this, but it's a supplemental question. All right, which this is 650 words. There she had to answer it in 300 words. And this girl, again, the one who had written the Common App essay on the beauty of life, on love, and how everything around is about love. She has written about how her grandmother, while she's modern, questions when the father is doing dishes at home. And she says that she's done it very gently and she's done it probingly, but she has made her grandmother see reason. But this could be anything. This could be, where you see some strains of feudalism still existing, colonialism still existing, and you question those beliefs. It has to come out as a very, very, very strong essay. I haven't had anyone who's written it for the Common App. Okay. Nikki, can you please read the fourth one?
Reflect on something that someone has done for you that has made you happy or thankful in a surprising way. How has this gratitude affected or motivated you?
Okay, so now please remember that it is not the topic idea. It's not the something that someone has done for you that has made you happy. All right, that has made you happy. There's so many things that people do to make us happy. How has this gratitude affected or motivated you? You have to be able to move it weave this into a story which says that how this has made me a better person, how this has made me think that someone has done something for me and I should be able to, take it forward. Again, Arushi, I'll just give me a moment. And my throat is very parched. It's very cold here and the heater is on. So I'll just ask for a glass of water. In the meanwhile, Arushi, I'd like you to read the 5th prompt, please.
Discuss an accomplishment, event, or
You'll have to be loud,
realization.
Arushi. You'll have to be loud. It's hard to hear.
Discuss an accomplishment, event, or realization that sparked a period of personal growth and new understanding of yourself or others.
Okay, discuss an accomplishment, event, or realization that has sparked a period of personal growth. Now, personal growth can be, described in a whole lot of ways. Personal growth can be in terms of your developing an understanding of how people behave, understanding of people. It can also be how probably you become better at handling crises. It can also be about how you become more committed to the cause that you have been doing. So this is about that. Till now, I haven't had a child who's written this. The 6th one, I'd like Arjun to read, please.
Describe a topic, idea, or concept you find so engaging that it makes you lose all track of time. Why does it captivate you, or what or who do you turn to when you want to learn more?
All right. This is also a very popular topic that students choose. I've had someone who's written about economics. I've had someone who's written about his love for making circuits and staying at the mechanics of creating things. And the point here is that you find so engaging that it makes you lose all track of time. All right. You have to be able to give real examples that if I start reading about this, then, whether it's late into the night, I don't care. I have done internships in it. I have done, I have written a, research paper on this. I have done something at school. I've given a presentation or made something spectacular. And this is how it consumes me. Okay. And the last one is very simple. Share an essay or topic of your choice. So when you write about an essay or topic of your choice, please remember that, again, we want to project you as somebody who has piled up a certain stack of activities in a consistent, diligent manner to show your commitment towards a certain subject beyond interest. We all have interests. But when does this interest turn into a passion? When I have been pursuing it rigorously and consistently and have been able to chart certain milestones. So should you choose to write on this prompt, remember that you have to bring out that aspect of your personality, along with the community, the volunteering, the compassion. The passion and the compassion has to go together. Okay? Sakshi, so far, are you with me? All good? How about Anay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When should I start working on my essay? It's the summer before senior year. This is something that I've taken from a website, a US one. I recommend that as far as your essays on the MDP are concerned, you should start populating it right away. Okay? Because those are the ones that are going to provide the raw material for your big essays. Okay? The essays throughout are all about what have I done so far to demonstrate my interest in a particular field. What are my character attributes with respect to showing that I'm someone who is in line with the ethos of this particular college. Okay? And how am I going to carry this learning and use my character attributes for the larger cause of humanity? All right. Sakshi, Rohit, Sai Vidyut, Chinmay, Arohi, you are the people I can see on my screen. If this is something that has, you can just show me a thumbs up.
Okay. Prachi, just one quick thing on time. I know we have crossed the time limit. How
Have
long?
we? I'm going to go very fast then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. How long will it take you to finish the rest of the presentation?
Prabhat, the whole thing is that, I thought that giving them examples is
Yeah, yeah.
something which is going to make this workshop more than just a slideshow. So, and that is why it was, this workshop is important, but I can wrap it up in 10 minutes very quickly. I will not take examples.
Okay. So, yeah. So
So the
let's do it in
structure
10
of
minutes.
the
And then let's keep another 10 minutes for Q&A. So guys, we'll need about 20 more minutes of your time. I hope it's okay with all of you. Okay. Last 10 minutes is for quick Q&A. So whatever questions you have, you can.
Okay, done. So this is something which you already know. And Ria, you can read this out very quickly. All the points, please.
Outline what is the structure or format, outline your essay, write main points you'd like to talk about in your essay, have an introduction, 3 to 4 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. An essay's opening sentence or hook should grab the reader's attention. Have a connecting link between the end of the previous paragraph and the start of the next one to maintain fluidity and continuity. Conclusion is nothing but your introduction reworded and your points reiterated and wound up.
I'm going to speak very quickly on the essay's opening sentence or hook that should grab the reader's attention. So if the student has said that, amongst my, if I had to outline one skill that I have, it is the art of synthesis, and it meets at the intersection of computer science and football field, you already have my attention. And the other girl has written that the moment we reached Israel, all that we could hear was rocket fire and we had to go down into our bunkers. Okay, not everyone is going to have something as dramatic as that, but this is just to tell you that your first hook is important. Should I write about my achievements? Arohi, the first one, please.
Yes, but not in a bragging style.
Kashyap, the next one, please.
Include difficult experiences or failures.
Soham.
Use specific stories to illustrate them.
All right. So you can't say I'm kind, I'm motivated, I'm diligent, I am intelligent. You will use specific stories to illustrate them. And let's see how we do that. Ankita, can you read the bad example?
I am captain of my varsity football team.
Now, can you read the good example, please?
I peel off my varsity basketball uniform and jump into the shower to wash away my sweat, exhaustion, and anxiety. As the hot water relaxes my muscles from today's 50 suicide drills, I mull over what motivating words I should say to my teammates before next week's championship game against Westmont High.
Okay, so very quickly, first of all, the good example is why? Because wash away my sweat, exhaustion, and anxiety. It is showing you as very human that you get anxious about things. It shows how much you have worked hard. And he's talked about how hard he's worked by today's 50 suicide drills. And then he talks about what I should say to my teammates, which brings out why he is a leader. Okay, because he wants to motivate them. We go to the next one. Shreya, bad example and the good example.
I'm an honest person, even in difficult situations. And the good example, I wanted to blame it all on my brother, but I gathered my courage, said hasta la vista to my freedom, and confessed to my father that I had put a dent in his beloved 69 Mustang when I had taken it out for a late night drive with my friend.
All right. So it again shows that aspect of his personality that yes, we all try to cover our mistakes. We all try to blame it on another person. But this makes him come across as honest, despite having the temptation to not confess. How would you write about a cliche experience? Now, I don't want you to read this. This is something that we did during the class, during a particular essay workshop. I don't know whether Soham or Sai Vidyut were there in that particular workshop or not. But Sakshi, I'd like you to read the bad example and then read the good example.
Bad example. I have a special talent for wildlife photography, and some of my photographs have featured in online journals. Good example. I've always been fascinated by animals, and that was a prime reason for my taking up photography. It has been a lesson in patience and a discovery of unparalleled joy for me. While the results of capturing animals through my lens have been singularly spectacular, it goes without saying that they have been an outcome of great patience, constant training, and learning of photography techniques and cameras, a singular commitment for pursuing my love for photographing animals with my camera. But
all the hard work feels worth it.
Worth it when I see my photographs being accepted by many online journals.
Okay, I have boasted. Okay, Anne, can you see that? Hard work feels worth it because I have seen my photographs being accepted by so many online journals. I have talked about patience and discovery. Okay, constant, I've had to learn training. It is not something that I'm indulging in as a hobby, but I'm working very, very hard for it. How to write about a cliche experience? You have to be concise. Something which is like everybody's going through it. Be concise, coherent, congenial, honest, and accurate. Okay? Flex some intellectual muscle and include vivid details or anecdotes. Okay, with that, I come to the end of this workshop. And like I said at the beginning, that your introduction is nothing but your conclusion is nothing but your introduction reworded. And so it applies to this workshop as well. Everything that you write has to be about your interest, how you have worked consistently towards that interest, how you have built a profile working very, very hard at certain things, and how you have achieved certain things in that particular domain. Okay, then authenticity, honesty, community work, compassion, diversity, and inclusion. Prabhat, I'll leave this open for questions.
Sure. I think, thanks, Prachi. This was excellent. So I think what I would like to hear from you guys is any questions that you have, and be as open and be as candid as you can, because the objective is, we don't want to run a dialogue-oriented session. We want you to absorb as much and be able to validate in your own ways. And I'm more interested in grade 11 students, because you guys are going to be writing essays just 3 months from now. And remember, not one or two, you're looking at anywhere in the range of 30 to 50 essays. So ask questions if you have something in mind, right? So I'll leave the floor open.
I have a question.
No,
Are the
Arohi, we want grade 11 at this point, please. We're running out of time, so grade 11.
I had one question.
Yeah, please go ahead, Sanvi.
Yeah, so in our essays, should we ideally look at one extracurricular, extracurricular activity that we've done and explain it with passion, or should we look at multiple in a way?
Okay. Prachi, are you?
Prabhat, you want to take that? You want to take that?
I don't mind taking that. I think you shouldn't limit yourself to just one point. You should look at more things, more than one point. But what is more important is that whatever is your major that you want to take up, things have to be aligned to that. And remember, for example, let's say you would like to pursue economics in a top college in UK, right? Which is something which you'd like to do, Sanvi, and with your scores and everything else, you're a very good student for that. Now, if you can talk about maybe a research paper that you've done, maybe an article that you've written, maybe an internship that you've done. So it could be 4, 5, 6 things. But make sure that you're talking about all of them in a very structured format. So you're not all over the place. So the key is you can talk about things, focus more on the big ones, which I call them golden nuggets. I mean, if you've done 2 or 3 solid things that you can talk about, because what happens is if you talk about 2 solid things and 2 very weak things, you actually brought the average down for no reason. So let's say, for example, you've written a paper which was published in one of the best journals, and let's say you're part of a football team, I mean, football, being part of a football team may not be as big as this. So, you have to apply those judgment. And that is where, you have to first put your story together and then sit with Prachi and ask, and she will help you, guide things and amplify things. Yeah, Ria, you have a question?
Yeah, so my question was like about how we can like research into a college's specific like ethos and like spirit, because most colleges, if you look up front, it'll be like ambitious, intellectually driven students.
Prachi, you want to respond?
Yeah. So there are colleges which have everybody just Googles Ria. Okay. From what I remember of these girls who've written about these professors or their programs, they go to the university website, they write about the kind of research, they talk about the achievements, as in this they search, what is it that is that this university has achieved, what is the groundbreaking research they are doing, who are the professors who are famous. Okay. And that is the way you can research about it. You just go and find out about the university, Google it.
Yeah. Vidyut?
Yeah, I had a question about which essay prompt to pick. So is it recommended to venture into a new topic and try your efforts there because you're seeing what you need, or try to master a more common topic?
uh I didn't quite get it. Are you saying that I should go with the seventh one where you can write about whatever you choose to?
No, I'm asking, would you recommend to look in, like, with given options, would you recommend to pick a very unique topic or something more common?
Can you type your question?
No,
Can you
so
type your
Prachi,
question?
I can take that. I heard the question. So the
Okay.
question is, how do you choose the prompt? And, is there any recommendation around that? Now, remember, uh, you know, the beauty of the American colleges is that they give you options. They give you an option to pick one of the 7 prompts. And if you go to, let's say, if you apply to colleges in UK, you're only talking about one prompt, which is a personal statement. So US gives you a lot of flexibility. Now, having said that, Vidyut, what is important is it has to come from you. It has to come naturally to you. And if it is not coming naturally to you, in my view, there is a fundamental challenge there. You need to go back to the drawing board. Whatever brings out the best of you is the prompt that you should be choosing. It's very easy for Prachi and me to recommend answer number 3 or answer number 4, because we keep seeing we're helping so many students. But I think it has to come from you. And if you're confused about prompt number 1 and maybe prompt number 5, then pick both. Write your essay. The minute you start writing your essay, automatically you will come across. So we have had situations where some student has picked one particular prompt, and then midway, when Prachi was reviewing it, she said, "Hey, listen, this is not your story, right?" And then, we started discussing, and the child realized, and then they changed their prompt. So, some of it could be a bit of a journey, but it should come naturally, and that's where you need to spend more time. And that's why we said, don't start your writing of your prompt, on 1st of September. You can start right now and at least zero on at least a couple of prompts. Yeah, Arjun?
I had a question. You said you have to write 30 to 45 essays. What do you mean by that exactly?
Yeah. So typically what happens is, if you apply to colleges in US, on an average, most people apply to about 15 colleges, right? You normally, apply to one, you fill up one common app, prompt essay, and each college has a supplemental essay. So about 2 to 3 essays or 2 to 4. So now do your maths. 15 into 3, 45 essays. So if you
Okay.
roughly do the
Yeah.
maths, it can be anywhere, because some may ask you 2, some may ask you 0, some may ask you 4. And then
Okay.
remember, it's not just the essays. In all these applications, you're expected to talk about 10 activities. And that is why you will see your MDP, it's aligned to that. And 10 activities are nothing but 10 accomplishments with a tangible output. So it cannot be, I just like playing football, or I just like serving people, and so on. It has to be something with a very clear, tangible output. So you remember, and that's where you need to make sure that and you have your word limit. So keeping the word limit in mind, you're able to get the best of you. So, and Arjun, you're interested in US to a large extent, if I remember correctly. And Canada is very similar. So US and Canada, easily you can do number of college into 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rohit?
And also
Uh,
don't get intimidated by the numbers,
Yeah,
because we repurpose most of the content. So don't get
absolutely.
intimidated.
Yeah. But there is a lot of work, right? And don't leave it for the last minute. I mean, most of the students, when we work with them, they start writing their essays, right? Prachi, almost from 1st of September, by 30th November, they're all done. But then we have students who have also
Yes.
come to us later. So, take it, then, according to the timeline moves. Yeah, Rohit?
Yeah, my question was, how can you differentiate yourself from someone who has had a lot of drastic or really dramatic experiences? Like, I think previously an example was having identity issues because of having parents of two different countries, right? So, say you yourself don't have anything like that, like a really impactful moment in your life, which is as severe as maybe going to a different country or facing depression. So how could you distinguish yourself from someone like that, in assuming that they are going for the same field as
So that's what we told you. How do you write about a cliche experience? You have to make
you?
it a
Okay.
very, very coherent, a very cogent, and a very authentic appeal on your, like somebody who's just played the piano all his life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a dramatic experience in any which way. There's
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
boy who says that I've just loved economics all my life from the time, he talks about some Advait Banerjee and his Esther Duflo, who won the Nobel Prize. And then he says, I started reading these 2 books. And after having read these 2 books, I went on to work with the Partchitra owners. And I created a platform for them where the money goes directly to them. And I made a dying art survive. It's not dramatic, but
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
way he weaves it, and then he talks about carbon tax in his essay, that if we have to work towards climate change. So I mean, these are the things which make you appear as someone who's very consciously involved in being a change maker for the world. So don't worry. I mean, not everyone's experience is going to be dramatic or
Yeah.
awe-inspiring or sympathy arousing. But
Yeah.
now there's this boy who's done nothing. The one who wanted to do weights and all, and you know what? He's a dark horse, and he's got acceptance from 4 universities. We are very happy with his success. Prabhat, I think I want to give Arohi a chance to ask a question. She
Yeah,
may not be in grade 11, but please, we must.
yeah.
No, it's not that important, but I was just asking if the Common App prompts are still gonna be the same when when it's time for me to ask. Sorry. When it's
So, Arohi, for the last 2 years, they've remained the same. They've remained unchanged. But you have to understand that they might change the words, all right? But they are essential. They might say that please serve us an omelette or scrambled eggs or, a quiche. But they're essentially looking for eggs.
Okay.
Okay. They want to figure out, what are you good at? What is your story? What have you done so far that makes you a good case for entry into this college? What are your values? What is your ethos? What is it that you love to do? What are you as a human being, as a person, beyond the ambit of your achievements and your good academic grades? It will remain the same in terms of only the wrapping is going to change.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
Ankita,
basically the same ideas. All right.
Ankita, you have a question?
Ankita.
I just wanted to know if the slideshow would be made available to us so we can refer to it after the workshop.
Yeah, so
Yes.
the slide is not going to be available, but the video recording is going to be available.
Oh,
So,
okay. Thank you.
yeah. Yeah. Kashyap, go ahead.
I just want to know that, does it always have to be our personal experiences? Like, can I add like a little bit of my imagination? It does always have to be true.
It doesn't always have to be true, but because you are conveying something about yourself, then it has to come from your, it's the same thing that I told Arohi. They want to know about you. And with imagination, there is a certain risk involved that you might go overboard and it may appear unrealistic.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so kindly refrain from imagination. I'm not a great fan of fantasy because this is not fiction writing.
No, like at a little limit. Like at a limit, can I
Well,
use
let's
my?
see. Put in something on the MDP.
Yeah, yeah.
Put something on the MDP, and
Yeah, we
then
can take a
we'll
look at
analyze
it.
what you've got
But
there.
but one very critical point, what Prachi mentioned, at least for the last 30 minutes, is the word authentic. I mean, your essay, whatever you say, has to be an authentic story. It can't be a cooked up story. And the reason it cannot be a cooked up story is because they're looking at your essays, they're looking at your SAT score, they're looking at your ACADS, they're looking at your resume, they're looking at everything, and then they're circling things. So let's say what I mean is, let's say I write an essay saying, hey, I was very sharp in maths and I loved computer science, and I was breathing computer in and out from morning to the evening and all that. And my computer score is poor, my math score is poor, my SAT math score is poor. Then your entire story falls apart. So that is why it has to be backed by facts, and that's what they will start to check. Right. So
Okay.
make sure, guys, when you're writing your essays, try to be as authentic, as genuine, because then automatically things will, have legs. What I want to do is, we are almost running out of time. I would give chance to some of our grade 11 students who have not asked. So Chinmay, Anay, I think from you guys, any questions from your side? You guys
And
have to ask a
Shreya,
question before we go home. Anay, no question?
No questions, sir.
Chinmay?
No questions, sir.
Prabhat, we have to take a screenshot, and if you can do that for us, I would be grateful.
Sure. Any last question anybody has? Any grade 11 student?
Or any views on the workshop? I mean, have you like Sanvi, if you'd like to say, and especially Soham, I'd like to know yours, and Sai Vidyut's this thing. Does it add on to what you had done earlier, or was it a repetition? Or Soham, I'd like to hear your views very quickly.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was I think more of an add-on, because I think I might have also a little bit forgot, but now it just reinforced everything again.
Okay. And Sai Vidyut, I hope that you're not going to hit a block now.
No, ma'am. I think last time was since it's been a while, and